Welcome to Flash from Scratch, tutorial number 5, Rectangle and Oval Tools. I'm opening a new FLA, keeping the default settings, and right here is what we call the rectangle tool, and if you click on that corner right there and hold it down, well, I'm going to talk about the rectangle tool and the oval tool and the polystar. So let's start with the rectangle tool itself. It works with two colors. You see a little pencil here, that's called the stroke, and that's the outside perimeter of the rectangle. And you see a little bucket, and that color, that's called the fill. If I make a rectangle and I highlight it with pick up my selection tool and highlight it and open my properties panel, we see its X and Y axis where it is on the stage. We see its width and height, which we could change here. See that? Changes as I do that. There's what's called the stroke, that's the outside color here. There's the fill, and we can, if I double click on that, and we can just change the stroke, look, make it really big, kind of crazy looking. Let's put it down to about 2 pixels, too high. Alright. We could do the same thing if we select this, hold it down with an oval tool, make an oval. It picks up naturally those same colors I have selected. Now, if I go with the oval tool, and you see I don't have a circle yet, but as I get closer to the circle, watch the crosshairs. And right there, when it gets bright like that, and if you could drag that, that will be a perfect circle. I'm off now. There it is right there. It's latched in, it clicks in. The other way is to just hold the shift down, and no matter what you do, you make a perfect circle. Likewise, if I go back up to this tool and pick up the rectangle tool, if I hold the shift down, I'll always make a square. And if I get that big circle, watch on the crosshairs, there it is there, and if I can follow that, I'll always have a square. Alright, selection tool, selecting them all and deleting them. I'm now going to take this stroke, click on it, and go up here in this little white square with the line through it, the red line, click that, and that means I don't have the stroke now, I just have the fill. I'm selecting my rectangle tool again, rectangle tool, and if I look down here, you see this little circle, it says object drawing. I'm going to click on it and make it small, make it big. See how that? So now I have it small, right? You see that? Look. I have the rectangle tool selected, and down here it's either you got it big, the full square, or the little square. I want the little square now, for now, and I'm going to draw a rectangle here. It can be a square, and I'm going to draw one here. I'm going to pick up my selection tool, select this one, drag it over, and now put one on top of the other, and you can see I can drag it back and forth like that. If I click off to the side, now come and try to drag it, it becomes one. They're joined together. So let's go through that again. If I now select my rectangle tool, this time when I go over this little button here, I'm going to press on it. Now it stays big. This is called object drawing. Now if I draw a rectangle and draw another rectangle, doing the same thing, except now in object drawing I can put this on top of here, go over and click off. When I come back, it selects it. So if I have that in object drawings, I can keep these separate all the time, but if I don't have that object drawn, they become one. Alright, let's highlight them for a minute and take them off. I'm going to make a rectangle, pick up my rectangle tool, take this off, so I got this small square now, see that? I'm going to make a rectangle. I'm going to now make another rectangle, and I'm going to highlight this one, and I'm going to make it a different color. So just click on here and pick up a different color. Now it's selected because it's very fuzzy. I'm going to put that on top of it. Click off to the side. You see it's still saying it because they're different colors now. It's an individual thing again. See that? They're individual. But watch when I pull this away. It cut a hole in it. When they're different colors, the object you move on top of the other object takes that space and claims it for its color. Okay? This would work the same if I used the oval tool. So let's get rid of these. Now with all that said, there's something new to Flash CS 5.5, and when you click this rectangle tool, that little corner, notice you have something called rectangle primitive tool and oval primitive tool. These work much the same as if you were using that little circle down here and selecting the object mode. So let's just look at this for a second. I selected the rectangle primitive. I have a fill color of blue. I'll make a rectangle and a rectangle. Select this one, stick it on top of there, unselect it, and it works as if it was in that object mode. And let's make another rectangle now. Unselect them. Let's make a different color. And select rectangle again. Remember, primitive tool. Highlight that one. And if we were not in the object mode, that would take a hole there. So this primitive is like working in the object mode. There's one more up here we want to look at. If you're finding this is not opening, hold it for a little bit of time. This polystar, click on that. I got the polystar tool selected. Come over here on options, and we'll keep the polygon for a second. 5 sides, and it says 0.1, 0.5 stars. So let's see what that looks like. There it is. Let's select another polystar tool. Open it up this time. Let's make it a star. We'll keep the rest of them the same. This time we're going to make a star. Let's do another one. Polystar tool. And let's change the points. I'm going to keep the star. Let's make it 15 legs on the star. And let's make this number smaller. And when we do, we'll get a nice, long, skinny star. Now naturally we could make one with the, pick up a color here for this one. Let's put a dark blue outside of it. And there is what we can make. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learned.